What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jazmine J here with another episode of CCGO. And today I get to talk to some pretty cool musicians, and I'm looking forward to that. So, how you guys doing?
Hey,
doing well. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's take some time to introduce yourself and what it is that you do.
I'm Billy Munoz. I play lead vocals and bass for Riptide Phantoms.
Okay.
And my name is Zach, and I play lead guitar.
All right. So how long have y'all been into music, or how did you get started in this? And are y'all from Houston?
Yes.
Okay. So how long y'all been doing this?
Like I said earlier, we kind of talked a little bit before. Since 2002, just different bands and stuff. So it got to this point where I played in other bands. I played bass or guitar or whatever, but then I started writing my own songs. So, I made some ska projects, rocking this rock and roll project we're talking about today. And still here, just having fun with it, having a good time.
I love that. And what about you?
I just grew up playing guitar and kind of was mostly a hobby, kind of like a personal hobby. And then I guess around 2015 or 16, started looking for a band to play with, and got linked up with Billy through another friend of ours. We're in another band with, plays trombone, that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And then really since I joined when I started playing music with Billy, that's kind of when I consider my music like playing out and being a little bit more serious.
So because I've had the pleasure to interview a lot of musicians here lately. Shout out to Messiah. But I'm learning about the band culture, and I'm really interested in it. So can you tell me one great thing it is about being in a band and one challenge?
The great thing is, the completion of a song and putting it together with your friends, and just hearing that final
for the first time.
Yeah, it's, after the studio too, you're cutting and pasting everything together, and you're like,
this is
hear
it.
The song. And I guess the trickier part would just be, I think for any band is, hey, practice, what time, just
right, and everybody being on the same page.
Yeah.
I think it's really great that everybody within a group is on their personal life journey with music.
Yeah.
And all those roads kind of cross and make that body of music, everybody where they're at on their musical journey, and seeing everybody grow over time.
Definitely.
And stuff is a lot of fun,
That's amazing, because that brings me right to our next question. How does being a musician, what does that do for you personally? Do you just love making music? Is it a form of art, expression? What does music mean to you personally, Billy?
I mean, even as a little kid, if there's an instrument in the house, we had pianos and guitars, I'd grab them. I wouldn't know what I'm doing, but I was, right there just trying to work out anything, a tune or something. I'm like, whoa, that, it's something that just started with me as a young kid, almost like breathing, almost in a sense.
Wow.
It's a very natural thing for me, at least for myself.
Yeah, me too. I love music. I don't play any instruments. I wouldn't really call myself a rapper. I wish I could DJ. I'm not really good at that, but I love music. What it does for me, how it's like a therapy. I can express myself through music, and I'm a lover of music. So what about you, Zach?
Music is it's a source of sanctuary, whereas it's sacred, and at least that's the value that we've kind of assigned it, and that is kind of life-giving in a sense. It takes it's not about money or anything else. It's really just the music that's gonna transcend all of that stuff. So it's like a purpose without needing money or anything like that to show what gives you meaning, gives life meaning without needing dollars to prove it.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. So in the career, in y'all's career, what different genre of music have y'all been able to play? Or is it all typically the same?
Well, between me and him, we do play in a ska band, a lot of ska and reggae. The band that we're talking about today kind of has a little bit of throwback 50s, even 60s rock and roll, even 70s.
Wow.
With a little distortion, with a lot of harmonies, a lot of Beach Boys influence, Beatles, but with just a little crunch and attitude.
Yeah, so let's dig right into that. What's the name of the band that we're talking about today?
The band we're talking about today is called the Riptide Phantoms.
And is it just you two guys, or do you have others in the band?
It's predominantly me and him. Mm-hmm. Right now, we've been having kind of a rotating door of drummers, but since we know so many musicians, it's so quick to be like, hey, you want to fill in right now? Or this and that. So it's been easy. The guy who records us, he's been playing drums. So
So what started the birth of this particular band?
Well,
COVID.
kind of, sort of.
As for a lot of things, for sure.
Well, that and I had an injury during COVID. So like COVID almost didn't affect me because I had a very bad spinal injury where I needed to have surgery and this and that. And I was just stuck in bed. And I just wanted to write something different compared to the ska music and the reggae music that I've been writing for, 10 plus years, 15 years.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a lot of the influences, like I'm saying, a lot of 60s, 70s, Ramones, early punk rock influences. And I got me an acoustic bass guitar. And I just started hammering out a whole bunch of songs, and I showed Zach, and
Zach was with it.
Zach was with it, and then we just put it together, and here we are,
So how did y'all come up with the name?
I'm guessing just whenever I started writing a lot of this stuff, it kind of the beginning stuff kind of had a lot of a surf influence.
Yeah.
So you got the Riptide and the Phantoms, just and I like Halloween.
It's a little spooky.
Stuff, I like the old school Universal monsters and stuff. So I just kind of wanted to throw a little homage to that.
So what was the first song that y'all did together under this band?
That's a good question. I don't even know.
It could have been Love I Made Up.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
By the time that Billy had kind of like come out about this project, it was like already like he already had like a catalog kind of like song ideas and stuff that we basically just went through, like woodshedded them and forged them into songs and like complete songs. So it's hard to say which one was first because it was just like Billy is like a machine when it comes to writing songs. It just doesn't stop. So, he's always got like a, something to rap about,
So what's your routine, Billy, when you're about to write a song, or like how do you get set in that vibe? Like what does that process look like for you when you're writing?
I mean, it's different. Sometimes I could just be hanging out and a melody just with no words get stuck in my head. And then I'll grab because what I've been writing within this project is a bass guitar.
Okay.
So, I'll have that melody and I'll play something with that melody. It'll be a bunch of mishmash words. I'll be mumbling or whatever. And I'll just keep doing it until I let the song tell me what it's going to kind of be about and what the feeling is. This should be about. I start putting, a few words together. And then from there, you get the chorus and the verse and everything just kind of comes together.
Wow, man, that songwriting process just seems like an amazing process because I like to write. I call myself a poet. I'm gonna get back in front of the stage one day, y'all. I'm coming. But I love to write, and it's in phases. A lot of my writing is inspired by just emotional things that I go through on an everyday basis. So I'll start there, and then I'll just get an idea, and then it just develops into something so much more bigger than what it started. And it just is an amazing process. So I can only imagine what that's like for songwriting.
Yeah.
You put a melody to all of that,
Wow.
And then it's cool, I get with him and he's an amazing musician himself. He plays every single instrument, like top notch.
Wow.
In my opinion. And I show him, the what do you call it, the meat and potatoes, and he'll
put all the sauces on it.
All the sauces and all the seasonings. He's
I love
that guy.
that.
A little bit.
So what instrument did you learn how to play first?
When I first got into music, I was looking at guitar pretty interestedly. I was a little kid. My dad played some chords, and he was a big fan of music more than like a player. And when I was younger, we would sit around and, I have a sister who's a year older than me, and she also plays music a little bit. And we would just sit around and play and stuff. And then, so guitar was kind of first, but then when I got to like middle school, I was playing guitar on my own. But then when I got to middle school, I learned how to play saxophone, or started learning how to play saxophone. And that's how I learned how to read music. And
so what was the big transition between, or what was the biggest difference between playing the guitar and then doing the saxophone? Like, did you have to relearn anything or anything?
Yeah, like when you're teaching yourself guitar, you're like, it's very instinctual and responsive to your little kid, and it's like exciting and stuff. But then when you get to like the saxophone and instruments like that, it's very disciplined in contrast to that like kind of self-taught rock and roll kind of thing. Like the discipline that it takes to play with 20, 30 people, and everyone's in the right dynamic and doing their part, that was probably like, and I honestly could have stuck with that maybe a little longer even, because once I got to high school, it was like, all right, enough of that. I want to play rock and roll, So like, and I went back to kind of more of the like self-taught journey. And I've just been kind of evolving and learning more as I go. And different genres kind of as I evolve, like are more interesting to me at different times that like push me out of my comfort zone and what I know, you know, and then like I go back to what I'm my roots and everything and apply some of that new knowledge and stuff. And it just changes the recipe, you know, like I listen to a lot of jam music, a lot of like noodly guitar music and things like that. That's very like niche. But whenever I like take the skills learned from that and then I kind of like bring it down to like how it could apply in this kind of like format of the music we play. Yeah. It's kind of unique in that sense, you know, and like it's not, you know, I love all that stuff, but then it's nice to kind of condense it and then just apply the sauce, you know.
Oh, I love that. I really do. So tell me, what is your process like when you're creating or you're, you know, in your vibe? What does that routine or process look like?
Well, I'm scared the whole time.
Are you?
I mean, really and truthfully, like whenever, like with what I do, it's like typically like relevant to the melody and things like that. So, you know, I'm really trying to please a little bit of the like image or the, you know, whoever wrote the song, you know, a lot of times Billy, like we're really all there trying to kind of like impress each other. Like, you know, like, what do you think about this? You know, and you can't like look each other in the eye and they say that. You kind of have to like in the peripherals, like, you know, when people are vibing with it, you know what I mean? Right. Because if you start like zeroing in on it, you know, you're never going to get anything good out of it because you're like too caught up in how you're, you know, performing or whatever. But when it starts flowing naturally, like it's one of those things like you're like on the tip of your toes the whole time. And then like once it's recorded or whatever, and you like look back, you like, breathe and like and then you're like, okay, I like this, I don't like that, you know, go back, fix it up a little bit. So, you know, just it's a lot of emotions, I guess, is really
for sure. So what are some things y'all have coming up? What are y'all excited about here in 2024?
Well, I know we're going to do an acoustic set right here.
Yeah, at the Long River session.
Yeah, Long River sessions in a couple of weeks. Yeah, and that's exciting because normally we're plugged in, we're an electric band, and I think with Messiah, the one who got us the interview. Yeah, I kind of showed him a while back, like at the R&R studios, and I was like, hey, check this out, I got some acoustic stuff. And then, you know, we kind of recorded like a little thing also. And from there, he was like, hey, we're going to put an acoustic thing together. Y'all want to jump on? We're like, sure, you got it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to April 13th, the Long River Sessions. I've actually had the opportunity to interview some of the other performers there, and everyone's just so excited about all kind of things, you know, and the energy they're going to bring. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah. It was fun when we started arranging some of these songs acoustic because we spent a lot of time mostly just getting the electric arrangement down. And then when we started kind of entertaining the idea of like, you know, transitioning them to like make like an acoustic format for the songs, it was like another chance to like revisit the songs and kind of rewrite them a little bit, you know?
So what has to happen differently? So for people like me who don't really know all the ins and outs of all of that, so what has to happen to take a song that you say electric?
Yeah, we play electric.
Yeah, and to make it acoustic. So like what do you have to go back, revisit? What do you have to do to transition that song to be able to play acoustic?
Well, this project in particular, it's very melodic and you know, we just have the crunchy guitars on top of very melodic music. Yeah. We have a lot of harmonies and stuff. So transitioning it into an acoustic, like Zach, instead of maybe playing like a power chord, he'll play like really pretty chords, and it almost turns the song into something new.
To a whole new song.
Yeah. Well, when there's no like drums and distortion and all that stuff, you're stripped down to just like the melodies of the vocals and the guitar and whatever. So really like opening those up instead of like saving room for the drums and everything, the real like emotional, like, you know, punk rock kind of thing. We have to kind of like still convey that emotion, but in a different hat, you know, like in this case, like maybe a little bit prettier and like slower and a little bit more like delivered the vocals, work on it, like make sure our harmonies are tight, you know?
Yeah, I was going to ask, does that mean like everything must be like in order, you know, for acoustic, like because it's not as loud and it's more melody, like it really tests if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. There's no hiding behind the noise.
That's the way to say it.
Because when you're playing, you know, the electric guitar or whatnot, you know, even my bass, I have a fuzz pedal on it, so everything's all real crunchy and fuzzy. So you know, you really, whenever you play it clean, you really kind of have to hit it. You know, you have to hit it clean.
So in the band, do y'all have another vocalist, or do y'all sing to your songs, or how does that work?
Yes,
we sing the third. Yeah, we even I Another big contributing member to this group was our friend Nico Martinez, who was like the original like third in the trio. And Nico's a phenomenally talented musician. He's
shout out to Nico.
Yeah, Nico's the man. And but he's just such a busy guy. I mean, getting him bolted down is a tough thing to do because it's a high demand. So it's cool to have his creative input and everything, and then to kind of take that and then almost change it up a little bit and kind of reimagine it and it's evolve it a little bit. But because of Nico's presence, and whenever we were recording the music, there's actually like the three of us singing on it. So
yeah, so there's a lot of three-part harmonies and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, I can't wait till 13. So what are some things that y'all are like looking forward to this year with this band? Like, what are some goals that y'all have?
Definitely getting out and playing more, because we were kind of inactive for a while. Because like I said, we play in Scatastrophics, and we're actually getting very busy with that band. And so we had a lot of new members come in, and we had to relearn everything, and we started gigging a lot. Like we've been gigging like crazy with that project. But I didn't feel like we gave this project enough of a chance to really get out there and play and share the music that we did. We recorded it. Might as well get out there. Like,
right.
I love it. And it's such a different thing to me because I get to play a bass and I get to sing, because in Scatastrophics I play a saxophone and sing.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a different vibe altogether,
I think that like ultimately, I at least for me, like this band, the main goal if there's like an ambition with the band is for me that like we have fun, because it is just 3 people. Like the scheduling is a little bit like easier. We just get to focus on the music. There's only 3 people, and it's like an easier thing to kind of corral together. You know?
Because if you have multiple band members, then there's multiple things that have to be scheduled and coordinated.
We can have like 8 people in the other band at like any one time. So
wow,
it's a lot of schedules. To
horn players.
So like when we get to play in this band, we're like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, let's go play. So,
boom,
boom, that's it.
we just get right to the music and having fun, and that's really the main thing. And just have fun doing it.
Me and Zach are good buds too. Like
that's what I was gonna say.
We'll even hang out without the music.
Yeah,
so we're bored. We'll be like, all right, let's grab a guitar.
And do you think that's important when it comes to like having cohesiveness as a band, that there is some type of chemistry outside of the band as far as friendships and things of that nature?
It's everything. I think it's everything, because just being good at an instrument is like being good at running or something. It's not until you're like able to share that and apply that with the group and be cohesive, and your personality comes out that way, So like everybody, like I said, everybody's on like a journey in their music. So if somebody's not, as evolved musically, but the vibe is there, they want to learn and get better, they come up, you bring them up with you, you go like same thing, like but the other way, you know what I mean? Like everybody shares things and learns different things from each other.
For sure. Now I think that's with teams, community, anything like that. Like here with us, we all bring different things to the table. My background is finance and administration. I'm a businesswoman, but here we are at the CC Network. I can't get behind the camera, but I have so much respect for what Messiah does. He respects what I do. We respect what the rest of the team does, but we all bring it to make this whole cohesiveness that we're able to present at CC Network. So definitely understand that.
It's a really cool place.
Shout out to you for that. Thank you. Yeah, we've been open about a year and a half, and we're a one-stop shop for creators. So whether you're a musician, a artist, a recording artist, someone who paints, a content creator, a poet, or a small business owner, we're here to help them, in every way. So for sure. All right, y'all. Well, we're getting to the conclusion of this interview, but I definitely like to speak to the youth. I'm really big on the youth. I'm really big in encouraging them. So if there was some young musicians out there listening to this podcast that want to get started, want to find a band, or just want to bring their voice to others, what is your advice to them?
Just grab that instrument. Don't be scared,
Just practice. Don't stop practicing, fall in love with the practice, and then the rest of it comes natural.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a musician. And the thought of just having a band seemed so far-fetched. And this is me thinking of when I didn't really even know how to play instruments. I was like, I know I want to play. But, it got to the point where, wow, this guy wants to play with me. So does he. Oh, I got a band now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger and thinking of the concept, I was like, wow, it just seems so far-fetched to have
it seemed
other dudes who want to jam with you. You know what I mean? So,
but then it
just
all
get started.
It comes naturally whenever everybody like, you know, meets at that intersection, you know? And that's why it's like, that's why I say, like, go back to just practice, because like you want to be ready whenever the, you know, the opportunity comes.
For sure.
Definitely want to see more kids picking up instruments.
Definitely. I tell them the youth is our future. So even with content, like it's so much content out there, good or bad, you know, it's very accessible to the next generation. So that's why I take it very serious in producing content that means something. You know what I'm saying? Like this interview with you guys is for a young musician out there that's watching this and like, wow, I really can. Let me go get John down the street. He like to beat on the table. Hey, start there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The community, the friendship.
All right, but before we close out, if y'all can look right here at this camera and invite everyone out on April 13th.
April 13th, we're the Riptide Phantoms. We're going to be here. We're going to be jamming an acoustic set. Make it out. Come check out this place. It's really cool. Zach?
We'll be excited to see you.
There you have it. So April 13th at 5510 Lawndale, Long River Sessions. It's going to be a great, great time starting at 12 o'clock. So make sure you're here in the building. And I want to thank both Zach and Billy for coming out for this wonderful interview. And hey, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And how can they reach y'all? How can they hear y'all's music?
We're on Spotify, iTunes, Instagram.
All the major platforms. We're out there. So just search our name.
Just look up Riptide Phantoms and we'll be there.
Well, there you have it, guys. We'll see y'all on the next episode.